I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine the following. Imagine moving to another country where there's a melting pot of humans, and one of the worst things that you will have to deal with is the stereotypes made of you, your gender, your race, your ethnicity. There's no understanding a resettlement in a new country or the trauma it creates for you as an immigrant. The trauma of leaving your family, experiencing a lot of unknowns, and feeling hypervigilance all the time. As an immigrant, you must assimilate by speaking a new language, adapting to new rules, and a new way of doing things. As simple as finding and signing a lease so that you and your family will have a place to live. There's no training, no manual, no class for you as an immigrant. In this new place, you will have to be playful, grateful, productive, friendly. And if you react negatively to any of the stressors in this new place, you will be misunderstood and labeled as aggressive or resistant. What do you notice as you hear this? What is the feeling that is coming up for you? Open your eyes. Hola. This was my experience as 16 years old, when my family, which included my mother and 2 younger siblings, immigrated from Mexico, not knowing the norms of this new place and not having an understanding for what we were feeling or experiencing. We were just surviving. We were asked to speak a new language, not have an accent, which obviously I failed, and to adapt to fit in. This experience is not unique to my family. This is the immigrant experience. Humans have always migrated for many different reasons. But most immigrants do not choose to leave what brings them comfort, what is nurturing to them, just because. Most of us leave our countries because of violence, corruption, poverty, persecution, war. Depending on our country of origin, accent, or skin color, we may be accepted, at most tolerated, or rejected at this new place. When we arrive at this new place, people like to tell us, you made it, you are safe, ya la hiciste. Don't think about the past, and be grateful at the opportunities this new place is giving you. As immigrants, we do not have the words to say, I am heartbroken, I'm struggling, I'm not understanding what I'm feeling, I am losing my language, ¿cómo se dice? My identity and my sense of belonging. As a psychotherapist, I have learned about the nervous system from Lisa Diane, creator of the synergetic play therapy. She talks about the 2 automatic nervous system responses that support us when we perceive a challenge. The sympathetic response, also known as the hyperarousal response, and the dorsal parasympathetic response, also known as a hypoarousal response. I had my aha moment, a revelation, while attending one of her trainings. I linked that in the case of immigrants, the adults have a different nervous system response than their children. Parents are inclined to go hypoarousal. They shut down. Everything is so overwhelming. They are quiet people pleasers. Our parents used to tell us, quiet, haz lo que te dicen, because everything is so overwhelming. Children, on the other hand, tend to go hyperarousal. They feel an excess of energy. Muévete, tú también lo puedes hacer. And we are called to do something about it. And in most cases, it shows us as helping and protecting our parents. Children are learning a new language different than their parents. Their needs and values begin to change when we arrive at this new place. We do everything to fit in, from our appearance, language to technology. These are our adapted survival skills. I remember in my teens, I did everything to fit in. I just wanted to be accepted. I was letting go of my identity, what brought me joy and comfort, while my mother was still searching for what was familiar for her, such as her telenovelas and ingredients to make us comfort food. When I look back, I can see that my mother was not only surviving, she was also grieving. When I think about our family's immigration journey, I can see that my mother functioned. She provided. She was in a hypoarousal response. Everything was so overwhelming. She was dealing with finances, housing, our safety, so many unknowns. Her nervous system was always on alert. It was just too much. My experience was different. I went into a hyperarousal response. I learned a new language most of the time and adapted faster in order to fit in. I became my family's cultural broker, which is a very common role of children of immigrants. As cultural brokers, we help our parents with translations, make appointments, and everyday communication tasks. We help our parents make sense of this new world, one that even requires them to parent differently. Imagine how confusing it must be for a parent to rely on their children as cultural brokers, while expecting them to maintain and respect the family hierarchy or the responsibility that we as children take. If we allow ourselves to be curious about the immigrant experience, we can help immigrants better adjust by making sense of their reactions, their trauma response, and their internal, external sense of safety through the nervous system lens. We can change the immigration narrative. We can see immigrants' behaviors as a response to the stress, instead of seeing them as maladapted or bothersome. Perhaps you can even see immigrants the same way that I do, as strong, brave, kind humans who take big risks every day. John F. Kennedy said, "Every American, with the exception of one group, was either an immigrant himself or a descendant of one." This is still true today. My hope is that from now on, when you interact with an immigrant in your community, you remember that we are caring so much and that you have the ability to be compassionate and supportive. Because when we truly see each other and empower each other, we all flourish. Gracias.